Hey guys, how you guys doing? This is Dr. Kenneth Foy, and I want to present something to you guys today called 8 Essentials to Recovery. Now, this may not mean anything to you personally, but I'm sure that somebody in your family is dealing with some form of addiction. And so that's basically what these 8 essentials addresses. 8 essentials to recovery addresses if you have a family member or you yourself have an addiction or a problem with using a particular substance, be it alcohol or drugs. There are 8 essentials to addiction. Now, as an introduction, I have to tell you that years ago, after securing my master's degree at the seminary in New Orleans East, or New Orleans Baptist Theological Seminary, after securing that, I was given a job, and my degree was in the area of counseling. In fact, marriage and family therapist. But because I was in the field of counseling, they needed somebody at a homeless shelter, Brentley Baptist Center. Yeah, I think I remember that name. But anyway, and I was selected to be the organizer of the substance abuse program. I had been trained in the work, but just never had a chance to do it as a job. And so after I graduated in May, and by June 1st, I was working as the director of the substance abuse program. And I remember very vividly that, every time I came to work, we would bring addicts in, we would bring individuals that were struggling with drugs, struggling with alcohol. They'll come in, and before you know it, I'll leave and go home, and you come back the next day and they're gone. Well, I got kind of like a little messed up over that revolving door. So though I was doing the program for counseling as it relates to people wrestling with addiction, the truth of the matter, I still was a pastor also. So I prayed to God a prayer on how I can best facilitate that people that are struggling with drugs and alcohol, to help them to get a better life and close that revolving door. I wanted to do that so bad. Well, to my surprise, and at that time it was a surprise, I had no idea God would answer so speedily. Now, he didn't give me everything at one time, but eventually as I went, stuff was revealed at levels. And I ended up with something that God allowed me to create, and it's called 8 Essentials to Recovery, so that I utilized it in the program, and to my surprise, it began to change the behavior of people that was inside the program. They became more interested in the subject, and really it changed the statistics of people that will complete the program. Also, we literally got rid of that revolving door. And here, I believe that I'm on to something here with these 8 essentials to recovery, but you be the judge. You tell me in the end. I'm going to get started. I've done this presentation numerous times for LASAC conference, at their conference. And that's the Louisiana Substance Abuse Counseling Training. And they give this conference every year and I think I've been there for about 6 years, but I did miss this year here. So here we go, guys. I want you to hear, and there's 3 sessions, but I'm only going to do one today. At least I'll bore you. But so I'm just going to do session 1, 8 essentials to recovery. Here are the 8 essentials. If you have something to write with or to mark it down, please by all means do so. Principle already essential. Number 1 is honesty. Honesty. All right. Principle number 2 is commitment. Commitment. Principle number 3, spirituality. Principle number 4, structure. Principle number 5, support system or network. Principle number 6 are essential. I'm teaching the principles, 10 principles on something else, and I keep saying principles, so I'm sorry, guys, but I really mean essential. All right. So number 6, the essential would be sponsor, and number 7 would be meetings, and number 8 is change. All 8 of these, you would understand it better by and by. Let us get started. All right. Principle number 1, honesty. Honesty. There are 2 things that must be in place for honesty. First of all, we got to understand that in the world of addiction, until the person wrestling with the addiction get honest with themselves, there can be no recovery. It's the only reason why people usually lay in their addiction so long, because of 2 reasons. One, they have a hard time believing that something has mastered them, is controlling them, has taken over their life. It's hard for them to get to that place, to understand that, to the point where they admit that. All right? But the other thing about it is the taboo. Nobody wants to be tagged as being an addict or a substance abuser. You know what I mean? Nobody wants that. And so they'll wrestle with themselves and lie to themselves forever. And if you are a family member that have somebody going through this in your home or community, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They are the last ones to believe that they have a problem. The user, the addict. All right. So there's 2 things. If they're gonna start this journey on recovery under the auspices of honesty, there's 2 things they're gonna have to keep mindful about. One is acknowledgement, and the other is acceptance. There are some things they have to acknowledge, and there are some things they're going to have to just downright accept. All right? Recovery is not easy, but it's doable if you're up to the task. Honesty speaks of, first of all, acknowledgement that. What you want to acknowledge? Well, I generally teach the person that wrestling with an addiction to acknowledge that they have an addiction, a problem. There's something going on that's going on with them that they can't handle, and it's been controlling, it's been messing up their lives. It's causing them to make bad decisions. They're having a hard time to maintain healthy relationship with family, friends. Why? Because of this pestilence, this addiction. And so they got to acknowledge that I have an addiction.